right here for now, and I'm going to start. I'm going to tell you what's coming up, okay? As you know, every fourth Thursday, we're going to talk about several principles. For example, next time we can speak about how to get out of debt. If you're in debt, that's not a good thing. But how can you get out of debt? We can give you some tips on that. Or type in the chat, what do you want to hear about it? We're going to also talk about how to pay off your 30-year mortgage in 12 years without refinancing or doing bi-monthly payments. How about that? We can show you that as well. Or how to buy one home a year. Yes. So several of these principles we're going to be showing you, every fourth Thursday, and we're going to have people also coming to us and helping us with what we need to do. Now, for all of us that we're here, let me introduce you to one special person that it's coming all the way from Tennessee. Yes, so everybody says hi to Danny Hunter. Danny Hunter
Hi.
comes from the Kings of Real Estate, right?
Mhm.
Where Tracy King is right there all the way in Tennessee. So, Danny, please introduce yourself.
Hi. So I'm Danny, as you know, and Tracy is an incredible broker. He allows us all to learn, develop, and do things. So he's actually the one who gave me this ability. I recently came on as his executive assistant. So I am a realtor and I'm an EA. So it's a fun two hats job, but I get to see a lot of behind the scenes. I get to help develop and learn. And so we have a lot of great opportunities for growth, and we are booming with real estate here in Tennessee. I when I pulled off about a month ago to be able to start really getting into the behind the scenes, I can tell you that there were tears of sadness because we need all the agents we can get, and it's because the market is just so fast. It's so fun. There's so many opportunities. So I would like to take a second. Um, we have a demonstration as to what's going on in Tennessee. I mean, if you Google anything about investment properties right now, we're in the top 5 on almost every single major site. If you look at Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, and you'll hear about this place called Sevierville. Where is that? I've never heard of that in my life. Well, Sevierville surrounds Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, so just a little bit of geography that usually helps. Pigeon Forge is north, and that is Dollywood and all that stuff. So when you think of Dolly Parton, you're thinking of Pigeon Forge. A little bit further south, when you're thinking of all the beautiful mountains and the walking trails and the ski lifts and all of that, you're thinking of Gatlinburg. So those are two prime areas for real estate at this moment. And we get over, and I'll go over this again, but we get over 20 million visitors a year. So we're hot right now. We're very hot market. People have started really seeing that we exist. Up until about 5, 10 years ago, almost everyone investing in this market was in state. Everyone was local. Maybe a couple people came down and thought it'd be a cool idea. Now things are more interconnected, and within the last 5 years, we've seen a massive growth, and it's incredible. So I want to take a second to show you guys. I do ask, can I share my screen? Can you set that up for me? I know everyone loves PowerPoints just like we do. That was really awesome, by the way. I learned a lot on that. I really enjoyed that. So perfect. So let me go to present if it wants to. All right. So anyone coming into this has had contact with your home sold guaranteed realty. This is specific to the Kings of Real Estate team. Kings of Real Estate is a really punny name based off of Chris and Tracy King, who founded the company. They've done a lot of great work, and they are continuing to expand. So why would we be talking to people about investing in the Great Smoky Mountains? There's a million reasons, but we can bullet point it because we've got it down to a science. We're within an 8-hour drive of over 80% of the population. A lot of the population is on this coast. Sorry, SoCal. But it is over here. So we're within 8 hours of Texas, New York, everything in the Northeast. Like it's, with good traffic. So we get that over 20 million visitors a year to just the Great Smoky Mountain area. That's not counting people driving through to Pigeon Forge. That the only thing we're tracking that on is on the Great Smoky Mountain National Parks in Gatlinburg. Pigeon Forge is so busy, it's hard to track. Um, we're seen as stable. So even whenever things have gone down economically, we are cheap. I mean, if you come down here, you can get a vacation in a range. You can either bring the whole family and just spend a small amount of money and get to go and do a lot of things like walking around, going and doing things for free at the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. You can go spend some money and go to Dollywood. It really is a range of being for the people who want a very affordable vacation to people who want luxury, and we get that full range. So our market's been very stable. We have venues that aren't just mountains. We have venues that aren't just Dollywood. There's shopping centers, there's sports centers. It's crazy, but we're actually a youth center for a lot of the minor league baseball, a lot of the minor league sports in general, softball and things like that, hockey, which you do not think of when you think of Tennessee. So we get a lot of that around here. We've been number 1 before, but we are currently, for the record, number 2 wedding destination in the US after Vegas. Hard to beat Vegas, but we have. But basically, because we're pretty. We have a lot of little chapels. People really love the idea of the rustic outdoor wedding. It's a trend that has not gone away. So you don't just get families coming out for vacation. You don't just get people coming out for youth retreats. You also get people coming and bringing their whole families to have this wedding in the mountains, which is a very trending idea and has been for years. Again, I've gone over most of this, but we really just have something for everyone. And what that gives our market is something that a lot of markets can't have, even with the beautiful weather, is year-round visitation versus seasonal, which you find in a lot of markets, there's going to be a peak. And so here, we do have a little bit of a slow period when it gets cold from about the end of December through about the middle of March. But even when it's slow, people are still coming out for Ober-Gatlinburg because the ski lifts and everything up there. They're coming out to Dollywood because admission's cheaper in the winter. They're coming out for all of those things. And we have seen a consistent and continued growth. So this is just why we even talk about the Great Smoky Mountains. Why are we even a thing? I will spare you the links, but they exist, and anyone who wants to be able to read the articles can totally do that. But Forbes, Fortune Builder, and TripAdvisor place us high. If you Google Gatlinburg, you will see that it is usually ranked within the top 5. Sevierville and Pigeon Forge are climbing up there. And TripAdvisor, it was Fortune Builder, it was Sevierville, and so we're 2 of the top 5. Here's what we normally are talking about. Log cabins. When you think of Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge investments, you're probably going to think about log cabins. That's what most people envision. But we actually see a lot of success with more than that. We have condos, there's chalets. You can get, the small little 2-and-2 cabin in the woods, or you can get a condo that's right on Pigeon Forge Central where the family can go pay for it cheaper than a hotel, but still really good revenue to you, and go straight to Dollywood. So that's a lot of what we see success with. Whenever we talk to a client, we find out what their goal is. Once a goal is known, it's not hard to achieve. Sometimes it's just a waiting game, but we always get you into a cash flow position. We're very good about advising people on how to take an overnight rental and make it successful. Maybe it wasn't previously, maybe it could be, maybe it won't be. We're very good at also telling people it's a bad idea. We've seen plenty. So most of the things you're going to see on the market that we have can be made more profitable. They're usually underutilized. This is Tracy's slide. I do not have 15 years of real estate sales experience, and I will not lie to you guys that I do. However, he does, and our company has sold over 3,000 properties, usually investors, and that's why we feel like we can talk about it comfortably. We have the acreage of the Great Smoky Mountain National Parks. It's huge. We have the visitation that we get. So the Great Smoky Mountain National Parks gets about 12 million. The other 8 million that we project and track is going to be Gatlinburg itself. Again, Pigeon Forge is very difficult to pigeonhole, like to track how many people are coming in and out, because sometimes people go just to shop and walk around. Oh, I'm going to say hi to someone. Admit. So then there's the park generates a lot of economic impact as well. So this is what I was trying to, so we're within 8 hours of all of this, which is where a lot of the US population lives. So millions of people travel to Sevier County, not just because of that, but because they can get here. Not to be crass, but 2020 kind of made planes and air travel very difficult, cumbersome for a lot of people, even though it got a lot cheaper. Being able to drive here is a huge draw for people. Sometimes people don't want to pay for 8 plane tickets when they want to bring the whole family out. So that's another big deal for us. So being that close to everything, and we talk to keep it simple about Sevier County, about Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Sevierville. There are other areas, there are other things in the area that are within an hour's drive that are huge draws for people as well, even if it's just a pit stop. And it also has a lot of population and currently some economic centers. Knoxville, Nashville, Chattanooga, they're booming in this state. I know that we are going to see a lot of economic growth there as well. Wedding capital of the Eastern US. I won't read to you, but I will tell you this is actually a thing. If you think that you can discount the draw of weddings for people coming down, it's huge here. Basically, I think it's 30 years. Yeah, for the last 30 years, we've been known for being a wedding capital, with increasing success. So the big questions to ask when you're thinking about a real estate investment, specifically in this area, is what can you expect on cash flow? So you put money down, when do you get it back? Just like, Rudy was saying, you don't want to just throw money away. You want to know that that money is coming back to you. So what's the expectation when you're looking at these rentals? One thing we're big about is choosing the right property management company. If you want to self-manage from South California, congratulations. We will absolutely support you in that. We also have local options as well, because we find that it's easier when you have a one-stop shop for who's cleaning, who's changing the linens, who's booking, who's changing your pricing. And then, of course, financing. So if you haven't purchased an investment property, financing, which I'm sure is something that this group is going to go over in the future, is going to be something you need to plan out before you start buying. This is kind of our brag slide, so I won't let you read it too much, but we are a big part of the market share in the Great Smoky Mountains, to keep it short. So we use a pro forma. I will not get too deep, but these numbers will be very interesting for either now or a later conversation. So when you're looking at, and this is an actual cabin, when you're looking at a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom cabin, so we would say can sleep anywhere from 8 to 16, right? And you have a purchase price. The purchase price on here is a little bit high sometimes, it may feel, but I promise that it's been really steady for the past year. So if the purchase price is $649,000 and you were to get a conventional loan at 20% down, you're putting in, and we have things that are cheaper than this. This is just an example. You're putting in $129,000, roughly $130,000. What you can expect in general with the right management company, with things being good, and we always try and advise, you can expect that if you had a 75-25 split with the rental company, that your gross income projection is going to be about $93,000. So after everything is paid, these are real numbers for this property. We would estimate, if you were looking at one for you, your annualized expenses are going to be about $53,000 on average. That was for this one. So the first year you would make $40,000. So you would be able to, within 2 years, 2.5 to 3, you would be able to get that money back and then begin it generating income. Something else that has been really common in this area is that these site-built cabins appreciate. There is, of course, going to be depreciation. It's a physical object. But we're finding that the value of these homes is constantly going up, so the resale value is higher. This is, oh, hello. This is an actual cabin that we sold. So this one was in a lower price range. It was about $405,000. So like I said, you can find cabins of all sizes and shapes. You can find condos that are cheaper than cabins and still make $30,000 to $40,000 a year. We were able to get this for our clients because it was an off-market deal and an office exclusive. This is another one. It's a 3-and-3 with a pool. It was $565,000. It was, this is a projection, but I know that it was grossing about $75,000, and we projected that with the correct amenities, it would go up higher to about 120. That's a property that was underutilized. This is the benefits of having an agent. If you were to talk to us, here in Tennessee, we would definitely talk to you about being a VIP buyer. Our VIP buyers get to see all of our off markets, and they get to see any of our construction projects that we're collaborating on, and our local vendors. That is our financing person. That is our rental management company. So I'm going to stop here because all of this is about working with us specifically as a company, and I don't want to muddy the conversation. But we are very good about getting people the information they need for these. So to summarize, we're a growing market. We've been strong for a while. We're only getting stronger. And if you invest in real estate in this area, depending on the price point you choose, pretty much, I mean, even if you choose something in the 250s to 300s and you wanted to put a lower down payment on it, you're still likely to get that back within 2 to 3 years and then generate more income in the tens of thousands. So that's a summary that I have, and I'd love to answer any questions specifically. So I'm not just preaching about how awesome it is. It's very fun. The market is very fast moving.
Yeah, if anybody has a question, you can open your mic or you can type on the chat, whichever is easier for you, so that we can answer any of your questions. I'm sure this looks really tempting to get into, right? That's why I wanted to be on our first meeting, the most tempting real investment opportunities in Tennessee. I know Tennessee too. You know, I visited 2-3 times the border of Georgia with, you know, Chattanooga area. It's beautiful. Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Tennessee are the most beautiful. It's like the Garden of Eden. Okay.
It is very pretty.
I do have a question. So can you give us some examples of how we're underutilizing some of our properties and ways
In
that
Tennessee?
we can, no, say they already have one investment property and we're trying to diverse and get more. We are looking at other states, but what are some of the suggestions that you have for people that may be having a property right now and we're underutilizing it? So maybe we're not cash flowing, or ideas that we can give them. So when we're talking like, hey, here's some ideas, here's some states, but we want to know how we can tell them what ways can we improve, like the idea of investing that they are underutilizing?
We find 2 common themes. The first one's dynamic pricing. Some people are trying to do it, but dynamic pricing is a full-time job when you're managing a property. Knowing when the hot times to increase your pricing are, when to drop your price enough and still maintain profit, because the goal is usually for us is to maintain maximum occupancy percentage. In this area, our average occupancy is anywhere from 70 to 85%. If the properties are seasonal, that's going to be more difficult to achieve. But making your pricing competitive and dynamic instead of stagnant, or this season we're pricing it at $200 a night and you're leaving it like that for the whole season. Well, what if you could book it faster for 150 a night at the beginning of the season and then 250 in the middle? And then you would still be able to make that. We find that that's one of the big ones, as far as drawing in people. The other thing that we see, other than dynamic pricing, with people that we're helping, it's not fixing the property. That's the wrong way of putting it, but helping improve it, is the amenities. What are you offering? What does your property have that makes me want to stay there and not somewhere else that's $20 a night cheaper? You know, it's here we have. I am very knowledgeable of this market. I cannot speak for the nation, but in this market, it's hot tubs, video games. Does it have a grill and a deck? Is it close to what people want to be? Do you have some of the local decor to make me feel like I am in rustic mountain land? I know that sounds very tacky and cheesy, but it is so effective. People want to be able to look on VRBO and Airbnb and feel like they are smack dab, even if they never left the rental, that they are in the mountains, that they are in the area that they booked. And we find that sometimes properties don't reflect that. Again, that's for here. I don't know that that would translate nationally. I
No,
think it may, but
that was awesome. Like, so you're basically selling an experience.
yes,
Yeah.
you need the package. So you have to start with pricing your package appropriately. You know, maximize it, work on it. Don't just let it be. Don't say, hey, this rented out for 250 last year. Well, maybe you could rent it out for less this year and actually get it booked, you know, instead of letting it sit on the price that it had. Another one that we're really big on is that review and referral that we use as real estate agents, that anyone who works in sales lives and breathes on. The same thing goes for rentals. If someone comes into your rental and has a bad experience, they're not coming back. They'll find somewhere else. If anyone asks, oh, I found this really cute cabin on VRBO. Oh, I've been there. It sucks. It doesn't matter if the owner's changed. It doesn't matter if you've done a million things to it. You have to build that referral and repeat business, just like you would if you had a mom and pop restaurant. It's the same concept. So dynamic pricing and the experience, and take care of the people that you book. You know, make sure that it's good. I mean, anybody on this call, would you want to go back somewhere that was dirty or treated you poorly, or, you got there and you might as well have been at home? No, you wouldn't. Why would you go back? You just stay home, you know? So that's the ones we really see that we help people fix.
Thank you. That was awesome.
May
Great.
I ask, what is the property tax over there? And also, what is the appreciation approximately yearly or
Sure.
annually?
So annual appreciation is a quick one. It's anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5% on a sliding scale. This last year, we saw it go up much higher because demand was higher. So the property values went up. We don't see it staying high. We say it has been a steady growth, other than 2020, of about 2.5 to 3.5% in value. 2020, there was a spike. That's why the prices are a little bit up. We see those dropping down a little and then leveling off. It's just a supply and demand thing right now.
No, I meant
property
average.
taxes. That's an easy one. Let me find you.
I meant in an average last 10 years. What is the average appreciation?
About 2.5.
Okay. And what is the property tax approximately?
Sure. So I do not have the number for property tax because I am underprepared on that. But I'm actually going to pull up a property right now in Pigeon Forge and tell you the dollar amount on the value of the home. Would that work? It's very low. I see Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, you have to pay for city and county. Sevierville, you only pay for county. So the taxes are, let's see here. Let me find Sevier County. I do apologize. It's an incredible question. Our taxes are great. I should have had that answer ready. What about this one? That one is in Pigeon Forge, so that one's going to be, I'm going to show you the highest end of the scale, which is going to be this guy. So this is a currently for sale, and it is listed at, $399,000. I'm not betting this property. I'm just showing you taxes. So this one is $613 a year in taxes. I can't hear you. You turned your mic off.
That's a special assessment here in California.
No, actually, not necessarily. I mean, many other states, the property tax is not low necessarily because it's, but it seems like it's like 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
So
That would be about right, yeah.
Yeah.
And it does vary depending on the zone that you're in because they're taxed differently, but that's a really good general rule is 1.5.
Mm-hmm. So it's not that, yeah. Because I was purchasing something many years ago in another state, and I was shocked how much was the property tax, which I didn't think.
See this one, $785. So yeah, about that much.
Good. That's good questions. Anybody else have a question? Otherwise, I have something to show you locally here. Believe it or not, I'm going to shock you with some numbers in California too. All right.
Go ahead. Yeah. Shoot.
All right. You can stop your screen sharing so I can do mine. And then we're going to be wrapping it up in about 8 minutes here. Yes. So now, believe it or not, I have an opportunity here in San Bernardino, California. This is a 16 units, where 12 units are 2-bedroom, 1 bath. They rent for $700 a month. 4 units, 1 bedroom, 1 bath that rents for $600 a month. The landlord pays about water and trash for $400 a month. Water in San Bernardino is very cheap because they use underground water, if you didn't know that. Monthly income is $10,200 and yearly income is $122,400. That's the gross. They're asking for $1.4 million. If you have a mortgage with 20% down, your monthly payment will be $7,389, which is going to give you a cash flow of $2,400 just if you buy this the way it is right now. $2,400. And the reason why I'm going to shock you with this is because there are very few cash flow investment properties in California because everything is so sky high, expensive. The units I bought myself, when I bought them upside down. After a few years now, I am a positive cash flow, of course. But it's always good when you have something that is positive cash flow. And this is one of the opportunities that we have right now here in San Bernardino with 16 units apartment complex. If you have any questions about this, if you want to know more details about this, I'll be happy to give you some information. But yes, this is basically what we wanted to show you to everyone that has taken the time to join us today. If anybody has any other question, remember what we have here for our next meeting. I'm going to put it back again. We have, hold on, let me see here. It's going back here. Okay, we're going to help you next time with how to get out of debt, because you cannot buy property if you're in debt, right? That's not a good thing. So we're going to help you with some principles for that. And then if you have a house and you don't have enough equity, how can you build equity faster so that you can have money to purchase your income property? So we're also going to help you how to pay off your 30-year mortgage in 12 years. And even on year number 5, you're going to have enough money to pool so you can do that. And then we can also show you how to buy 1 home a year. And there are many other ways. How can you use your retirement money to buy your income property? How can you, there are so many things that we're going to be learning every fourth Thursday in our meetings here at Investors Club. Rudy, tell us anything to close this wonderful meeting that we just had, and invite people and make them excited about what we need to do beyond the one house, because the one house is just the starting point, right? So tell us a little more.
Hey, thank you, Hugo. Thank you, Danny. And for those of you coming here, make sure you go back to our agent here who invited you and ask them for the next step, right? So we just want to thank you to all of our clients who spent the last 60 minutes here. I know time is limited. So go back to your home sold guaranteed realty associates that invited you here today. If you want to get in touch, investing in Tennessee, your agent can help you get connected with the Kings of Real Estate. We've been working with them for the past 7 years. And also, if you want to get in touch with that investment locally here in California, go back to your home sold guaranteed realty associates that will help you. For those of you who don't know, your home sold guaranteed realty here in California is a network of over 100 real estate professionals throughout the state of California. You met Mr. Hugo Chinche, who is our leader here at Real Estate Investors Program. He's also running a team in San Bernardino. We are also, we have teams also in San Diego, all over Los Angeles County, Orange County, Inland Empire, all the way up to Sacramento. So anywhere in the state of California, the best way, if you go to our website, www.yourhomesoldguarantee.com, you click under the agents, and if you want to get in touch with Hugo, you can just type the name Hugo. If you are looking to buy whichever location anywhere in the state of California, you just type the location, or you can just call our office, 626-789-0159, 626-789-0159, and we will connect you with the real estate professional closest to you. That's it. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time. Back to you, Mr. Hugo. This is your show.
Yes, thank you, Rudy. Thank you for that conclusion. Again, we want to thank you and want to invite you to come here every fourth Thursday of every month. We're going to have something like this that is going to be good with real case scenarios of where you can start investing and growing your wealth. We want to make you rich. Remember, the Bible says God wants you to invest, not to hid your money. He wants you to have more. All right. So whether you believe that or not, the principle is the same. We want you to invest and have more. Thank you for coming, and we'll hope to see you here the following month, Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Thank you.